all day. Money, power, respect. 3 the hard way.
What up, world? Welcome back to 3 the Hard Way TV. Y'all be sure to hit that subscribe button. Y'all be sure to hit that notification bell for future shows. On today's show, we got the beautiful Bree Nicole, Beyonce. she got like 12 aliases.
Exactly, including future 10th baby mama.
I forgot that one.
Right.
and we got the beautiful Monet and her beautiful friend Tasha joining us. We got my cousin Freddie B. God first. Y'all make sure y'all look him up. Freddie B.
Baby B.
God first. Okay? Don't forget that shit. We got the triple OG. The triple OG. My uncle, Derek. My brother, Real.
C4 at a time.
And ladies, y'all already know who I am. On today's show, what's they giggling for? They know who I am, trust me. On today's show, we discussing Juneteenth. Should they make Juneteenth a federal holiday?
Yeah. Yes.
And should we ban the 4th of July?
Yes.
Okay. Freddie B. Hey, Freddie B got the Joker smile, so I'm gonna skip the ladies and I'm gonna go ahead and let Freddie B go.
Hey, brother, be careful. The government is serious.
Hey,
I mean that is an incredible point. I think we living in a week where we're taking down the Confederate flag. I think we're actually shedding some real light on police brutality. We're really educating people about real poverty of Black people over the last 60 years, just since the 80s and the 70s, not even counting backwards. I think that would be a great idea because I don't understand the independent side of the 4th of July if we're still being gunned down and we're still being disenfranchised in our community. So that would be a good idea to celebrate Juneteenth and we're truly free like they say we are. Right, guys?
Right. Okay. What I should have did for the people that's watching the video, you know, if you guys don't know what Juneteenth is, it's the 19th of June. It's where slaves celebrate the emancipation from slavery, mainly in the South, but you know it affected all of our Black ass because a lot of our parents and grandparents and great grandparents migrated from the South to the North to find jobs and so on and so forth. So I've been told Tasha is an expert. You see her head? She like, no.
We'll put disclaimer right there.
What you say?
I'm only an expert on drinking my drink. That's it.
Wow. Well, we know what you're gonna do on Juneteenth.
If you told me I said I was drunk.
Okay. Derek. Talk to him.
I think your question is, should Juneteenth be, I address that one first. Juneteenth being a federal holiday, I think absolutely I'm all for it because, you know, we celebrate Cinco de Mayo, you know, Mexican Independence Day. We celebrate the Gay Pride Parade. You know, we celebrate all these other things, and you know, the only celebration that we have, well, at least in the city of Chicago, is Bud Billiken Parade. So when we're talking about having a national celebration beyond just you know, Black History Month in February, Juneteenth. You know, so Juneteenth was June 19th. So in 1865 in Texas. So that's when the last slaves got the word that they were fucking actually emancipated 2 years prior. So the motherfucking Emancipation Proclamation was written in like January 63.
Right.
So once the Emancipation Proclamation came into existence, they still have the motherfucking, they still have blacks in slavery in Texas for 2 additional years working for free. You know what I'm saying? So, so and we need to be educated on those type of things, you know what I'm saying? Because, some of our people had to endure more than what we actually think they did. So that's why they celebrate June 19th, because June 19th, 1865, that's when the last slaves got the news that they actually had been emancipated. So absolutely, I believe that that should become a federal holiday, no doubt. Give us all something to look forward to. I try to educate those around me around Juneteenth. It's only been maybe 10, 15 years that I even, found out what Juneteenth was.
Right,
So
right.
I'm quite sure that a lot of us, we just not really get that information. So.
Right. Bree, holla at us.
I absolutely do. Think that we should definitely be celebrating it. I honestly don't feel like the month of February is enough when this great country wouldn't be nowhere near great without us. So, I mean, it's not very vocalized, but if we're talking about, a particular culture of people that was once oppressed, and something significant happened to us, which it did, we should be, because it's not very vocal, but it's people who celebrate or have the remembrance, I should say, of the Holocaust, things of that nature, reparations and everything else that came associated with it. And how can we be in this quote unquote land of the free, but we shouldn't be delegated to celebrate when we officially became free? Because it almost makes me feel like, okay, well, let's dig deeper, because we ain't really free. We free-ish.
Yeah.
We're not really free, because we're still held in bondage by other things, and now we have new slaves. So, but I feel like it is something that I personally going to partake in. I used to. I'm not gonna be hypocritical and say I always celebrated Juneteenth. No, I didn't. I used to celebrate 4th of July up until a couple years ago. So, my PTSD won't even let me even do that. So, it won't. It really doesn't. So, I feel like we should. I mean, because I don't feel like we have a race. This is just one race, which is the human race. But we do have a culture, and I feel like we should be able to get back into our culture. And so I'm with it.
Yeah.
Red, black, and green, me all day.
I want to ask the sister a question. Like, sister, why do you think it's just listening to what you were saying, it's just, why you think black people just so underprivileged in the, like you're right, cuz just to piggyback, you say Mexicans have the Cinco de Mayo, you have the LBGT, you have the gay, you have so on and so forth. Why is we so last like that? I just can't get it.
Because I personally feel like if we really knew who and what we are and what our attachments is, and what this skin really, really means, it's anything to keep us oppressed to realize who we really are, because we are above everybody. And so if anything is around to keep you suppressed or under that nail, then that's what I'm going to do. Because if we really rise up, if we really, really, really just take this country by storm, that it wouldn't be no way.
Right,
They
right.
can't even survive without us. If we were, every black person was to leave right now, there's no way that they can survive without us. They don't even know how to wash their ass without us. And that's just
Real fact. That's real.
we
Real.
just showed them.
You can go ahead to Shawnee now, 'cause y'all might not like what I gotta say.
Okay. Okay. I think we should get a federal holiday for that. That'll be another day off work for me. And I can learn more about this, you know, share more of it with my children, and we can really turn this into a tradition. So, well, everybody's learning something, everybody's taking something from it. And I'm not really against banning the 4th of July because I do think it's like a critical part of American history, but it could be just something that us black folks sit out of, you know, if we choose to, or if you still choose to, because they still show, like you was talking about the Confederate flag, they still show some niggas they waving that Confederate flag around and they proud of it. You know what I'm saying? So it happens. Different people gonna do different things. Different people feel different ways. But I do believe that Juneteenth needs to be acknowledged and made into a federal holiday. I'm gonna get the petition going, and you know, I don't know how many signatures it take, 100,000 or whatever. Or if this is one floating around, I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna sign it, and we get that plan in action.
It should be. I feel like it should be taught also in class. When July 4th is taught about, I think they should teach about Juneteenth too.
Right.
And a lot of these schools, they taking Black history out of the curriculum. So shit, that's gonna be hard to do.
Right, crazy. I think in order to apply Juneteenth to everybody, they have to really stop whitewashing history.
Exactly.
That's all they're doing. So now in the new history books, they're making it where we worked for a room and board, not were enslaved. That it was look. Once they took us from our land, we came over here. We needed somewhere to sleep and lay and eat. That was something we decided on our force, and that's what these kids are learning now, and that's why some of the younger races don't understand. Like, y'all, you know, we did y'all a favor. That's how they feel now. That's why they don't want to get rid of history, because that's what they're used to and that's what they were taught, and they won't open their minds to see, you know, us as a human first. You don't even see us as a human. The darker our skin is, the less value we're worth. Because right now
we still 3/5 of a person.
So that's what you call conflict of interest. That's
and when did they say we aren't? When did they put it on paper and say everybody is American? Everybody is a person, not 3/5, not one whole, nothing like that.
right.
And that's what the races are going off of. Well, in the Constitution, or this and this and that, you got to get over that hump first. You got to acknowledge me as a person, as a human being, because we all the same side, but they don't see that.
Well, I think, like, to go back to the original question, like, of Juneteenth, is like, so in Chicago, when we was growing up, me and Dion, like, I never had heard of Juneteenth. I'm pretty sure he didn't either. It wasn't until I moved to Milwaukee where they celebrated Juneteenth, and I still didn't participate because I was like, what the hell is that? Like, that's something they only do here. And all y'all in Chicago, I implore y'all to visit Milwaukee. They got a Black Holocaust Museum on North and 4th Avenue. It wasn't until I went into that museum that I understood what Juneteenth was and started to understand why they were celebrating it. But I always wondered, like, why we didn't celebrate it in Chicago. We never heard about it in schools. And just to go back to what y'all was saying in schools, like, I don't expect schools to teach my kids anything dealing with Black history. I think that's where we fail as people. We waiting on the schools to tell them. And just like the sister said, I read in a book where they were saying the schools go start teaching that we came to America for opportunity. Like, we doing our kids a disservice by that. And like Brittany said, I don't feel February is enough to teach about Black history. Again, if your kids only know Martin Luther King, maybe Malcolm X, you doing them a disservice because you depending on the school to teach them. Just like the United States recognized Martin Luther King Day, but they don't recognize shit for Malcolm X. Arizona, where I stay now, have refused to celebrate Martin Luther King Day until the NFL decided we won't have no Super Bowls there. Right? So with me, I really don't care if they make Juneteenth a holiday or not, because I don't think we need them to celebrate that. Like, I'm tired of asking them to give us some shit. Oh, can y'all give us this as a holiday? Like, we don't need them to celebrate that. We don't have to celebrate the 4th, or we can celebrate the 4th. Frankly, I never celebrated the 4th. It's just I was off and I like to pop fireworks. So, shit, it wasn't nowhere else to go.
I mean, that's the real Black people. We wasn't celebrating the 4th. It was an opportunity for us to get together as family.
Exactly. Right.
And show off our new outfits.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. We don't need them to give us Juneteenth. Like Derek said, it was just them telling Texas, hey, slavery been in 2.5 years ago, and it's time for y'all to end it. And it's like, really, slavery just transformed to something else. So is we really free? So they give us a holiday. Now we feel free. The reason why they do Cinco de Mayo and all that shit is because them people got somewhere to go back to.
Yeah.
Like, if Mexicans can go back to Mexico, Irish people
they
can go
have
back to Ireland, right? We say we from Africa, but we can't. We not going back there. Like, we not going back there. So we not running.
Bro, I'm from Chicago, the West Side.
Exactly what I'm saying. So you from the West Side, we from wherever, but there's nowhere else for us to go. So if they say no, we're not giving y'all Juneteenth, what we gonna do? We ain't gonna do nothing. So why do we need them to do that? Like, it's okay if they recognize it, but even if they say right now we give y'all Juneteenth, and the way they still out here treating us, do we really feel like we accomplished something?
We liberated at no point? No.
Exactly.
Because that's what America do. That's what America do. I think the sister made a really, really interesting point when she said that they want to hold on to their culture, to the, you know what I mean? And they don't want to educate themselves about nothing else. And that's called conflict of interest. And that shit, it's been going on in America for a long, long, long time. And I don't even see it turning the corner with this George Floyd or either, I don't even see it turning the corner until, like someone mentioned on the panel, until Black people realize who they really are and what we really, you know, what's really symbolized behind being Black. And I think that goes back to the earlier segment when we spoke about the SpongeBob and the so on and so forth. That's what I mean about the information in America. America, hurry up and get to their culture. They hurry up. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
and they're the only, you know,
America really, I mean, think about it, America really don't have a culture, right? So
we a melting pot.
When I speak of stuff like, right, like I don't blame white people for what they do, man, because I have to start looking at nature, right? I don't see tigers out there hanging with lions and shit. I don't see bears hanging with gorillas and talking about, hey, give me my rights, right? And we all human, but because we different shades, they like, hey, you not us and we not them. But they can't. Right now, if we say, hey, we want to celebrate Juneteenth, we don't need them to tell us we could do this. We just do it. Why we just can't do that? Like, we don't need it in the books of the United States. Like y'all was saying, they erasing the history anyway. So now, okay, they're erasing the history from schools. What we gonna do about that? Is we gonna let that ride, or we gonna start teaching our kids, because teaching start at home. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, you absolutely right. And there's been times where my kids been in here reading certain things. Like, it was some years ago, my son had an assignment about the Pilgrims and you know, Christopher Columbus and all this discovering America shit. And I went to the school to talk to the teacher personally. Look, Christopher Columbus ain't discovered shit, okay? And the Pilgrims wasn't shit but some thieves and murderers. So, like, why is this shit still being taught in school? And she told me she agreed with me 100%, but that is curriculum that the Board of Education handed down, and they have to teach it. I don't want my son participating in it.
So right now we come out Juneteenth, right? How many of us educated our kids on Juneteenth? Because even growing up, right? The 4th of July, I didn't know what the fuck that was. I never called it Independence Day or none of that shit. I just knew 4th of July, Derek, bust out the grill, Dion, let's go get us some Air Force One and some firecrackers, and we was popping. You know what I'm saying?
Don't know. How come stuff we don't know? Like I just like y'all just say like some of y'all just said like y'all just learning about this. I just learned about Juneteenth.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, how you gonna teach your child about this?
We gotta spread the word amongst each other.
I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So like,
I mean,
Yeah,
I think
and
that
I can honestly say that I did personally in elementary school did hear about it. It was more so one of those instances where I was fortunate to have more so of an African American history teacher. So it kind of how it came about, even because like, you know, we had broken English and things of like that, because we couldn't say June 19th. So it's Juneteenth. And so even the books I remember reading, I want to say, is it Why Katie First Sing? It's one of the Maya Angelou books that I've read that she talked about it in one of the books. But again, it was nothing that was elaborated on. She was just saying that Juneteenth was coming and this is what was getting ready to go on. And then something happened. So I've heard of it, but you know, to be actually fully aware and educated, I knew that, you know, when slaves were said they were free due to the lack of not being able to know how to read, that's what they said. Not knowing how to read, they didn't know that they were no longer in bondage and wasn't nobody gonna tell them either.
Right.
What you say there?
What you was gonna say there? Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I think that when we're looking at things from a federal standpoint, I think that it should be a federal holiday real. Now, I do know that they do have certain Juneteenth parade here in Chicago. I know on the west side of Columbus Park. So and they've been, I don't know how long they've been having them, but I've been paying more attention, basically. So I think that when we're looking at not so much asking them for anything, but we want to be acknowledged on pen and paper. And I think I heard Tasha talk about how people always, you know, they resort back to Constitution. So that's what America's gonna always look at: amendments and the Constitution say this law say this, and this law say that, right? Mm-hmm. So we want to be acknowledged on paper. So I think the young lady Tasha, she talked about how when you know the 3/5 compromise, you know, that we was considered 3/5 of a person, and it's never been rewritten. You know, so a lot of stuff that still stands throughout history that identify us, or they attempt to identify us, or they give us, you know, certain titles, but it's in the laws, it's in books. So yeah, so federally we had that stuff, we need it written down. So now on a federal level, then you know your kid like, Dad, why you don't get to go to work? Well, today Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying? So you have some tangible as well to give your kid just beyond, you know, we educating them within the home, but obviously start within the home.
Right.
Yeah,
I agree.
Okay.
Anybody got anything else?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's everyone has some great points. I just think we can't rally around something that we don't know about. Me personally, I just found out about June's 10th through my cousin Derek. You know, him educating himself and him mentioning it one year. And I'm like, what is that? And I think that the more information we pick up, the more momentum, you know, and the more education gets to take its way in our lives, and we can save some people with information. Right now, we need to know what it means to really be black, from the George Washington Carvers to the Harold Washingtons to the William Rudolphs of the world. We don't need to wipe this history away, man.
Okay. Well, there y'all have it. We're gonna see what happens. You know, we probably still gonna get fresh and barbecue on the 4th of July. But we ain't running around this bitch. We ain't running around this bitch talking about Independence Day.
Well, I won't. I'll be at work from 12 to 9. Saying thank you for calling AT&T.
Hey, that should be the day the way they dropping calls.
All the time. The network issue.
Hey, we want to thank y'all for watching. Y'all leave y'all comments below. The email and the phone number is below. Leave your comments below the video. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Future shows coming. Share this video with your people that don't know about Juneteenth, and maybe it's some stuff that we missed. You want to leave it below for us. You know, give us some knowledge, man.
Hey, if you in Milwaukee and you Black, go to that Black Holocaust Museum, 4th and North Avenue. Check it out.
And even if you white, go there.
And that's period.
All day, money, power, respect, 3 the hard way.